Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 3:55 for Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 43 minutes. Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, siding to the Verge Bishop, 439. Seeing delays on the southbound Tri-State, the Adams Tollway to Irving Park after stall. Reagan Tollway delays are from the Fox River to Eola and 53 to Highland. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer is coming your way. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast from our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Right now it's 36 degrees, fog and mist. Cloudy with a high near 39 today. Chance of showers tonight, cloudy with temps dropping into the mid-30s. Possible rain tomorrow with a high near 41. Currently 34 degrees at O'Hare, 36 at Midway, 35 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer coming up, AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Mortgage Update with Dan Frio. Every Saturday morning at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity, this afternoon at 2 on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy from the CWB this weekend. My favorite, they cover the crime beat in Chicago, CWB Chicago.
Yeah. They're the best. 5 guys that remain anonymous.
They listen to the Chicago Police Scanner so you don't have to and pick up the best, most often entertaining exchanges.
Police
Dispatch, Jewel is calling. A woman broke a bottle of liquor, took a swing at the manager, fell down, and is now lying on the floor drinking booze and eating chicken from the hot table.
I've always wanted to do that. Eat from the hot table. Do you even know what that is? Because you don't go grocery shopping?
I don't.
It's where they have the hot prepared foods that you can just grab and pretend to your children that you made dinner and you really didn't.
Broke a bottle of liquor, took a swing at the manager, fell down, lying on the floor, drinking booze, eating chicken from the hot table. Sounds like the lyrics of a Buddy Guy song.
Uh-huh.
I love it. Also, in disturbing news, those gun buyback programs that the politicians like so much.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. One of the guns that was purchased by the city of Chicago in one of the gun buyback programs shows up at a murder scene.
Oh, no.
Somehow the Smith & Wesson that was purchased by the city ended up in the hands of a 22-year-old felon and gang member, previously convicted of sexual abuse of a minor, unlawful use of a weapon, and battery. How'd the gun get in his hands? Huh. Yeah. Those guns that are being sold for $100 and taken into custody by the city
ended up at
they're being melted down, or they're being turned around and sold in the black market. Chicago has its problems, which is why we need all the outside help we can get. And one gentleman is going to provide some of that outside help. He is Scott Presler. You've heard of the resistance. He's the persistence, American conservative activist who is known for going around the country, gathering up volunteers, and doing cleanups of big cities that are otherwise Democrat-run, including in Baltimore, Los Angeles. And he'll be here this Saturday in Chicago, Saturday the 23rd, to do a cleanup of Chicago. I don't know if one day is going to be enough, but we appreciate the effort. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. And we are coming, whether rain, snow, or shine. So I'm ready with my parka.
Very good. And so just take a step back and give us the genesis of this idea to do these cleanups of big cities around the country.
Sure. Well, it was born on Twitter. It started with our president, who brought national attention to the city of Baltimore. And I kind of sat back for a second, and I watched for 2 weeks as everybody pointed a finger and blamed each other, and nobody stepped up with a solution. So I said, with one tweet, I'm going to go to the city of Baltimore, even if it's just me standing on a street corner picking up trash. And I didn't realize what I had done because I had so many people that wanted to help. I was like, oh, my gosh. So we organized a cleanup within 6 days. And we had 170 volunteers from across the country. We picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in the city of Baltimore in August of 2019. And I realized, I have this big platform on social media. But what does that mean? What do all of these likes and retweets and followers mean unless I use my platform to do good? So I decided I'm going to go back to the city of Baltimore and keep a promise to the residents who have never had promises kept to them. And then we went to Los Angeles and we picked up 50 tons of trash. And I told my mom and dad, I was like, Mom and Dad, you know what? I'm kind of good at picking up trash. Yeah. So now I'm on this mission to kind of use my platform to make America a cleaner, greener place, which is why we're coming to Chicago.
All right, where
Saturday.
are you going to start in Chicago? Because we have different homeless camps where there's a lot of garbage.
Yes.
There's one in Avondale. There's one near the Dan Ryan 75th Street. Where are you starting? And how can people join you?
Well, I'm keeping the location very tight-lipped right now. All I can say is that we are going to be in the Inglewood area. But if anybody would like to join us, I urge you to please go to scottpresler.org. There's only one S in Presler to sign up, or you can go to my Twitter at Scott Presler. But just due to the nature of what we're doing and for safety and security, we're not going to release the location details until the day prior to Saturday.
Is your safety at risk, or why not disclosing it now?
We've gotten, now this is going to blow your mind, we've had people email me saying that they were going to protest us, and now I really want you to understand what I'm saying.
Right.
At 7:35 in the morning, people want to protest grown adults picking up trash in the city of Chicago.
I think that's perfect.
So,
I mean, what a perfect example of the left. We literally do not want to help. We just want to virtue signal. I mean, if there's a more concrete illustration of that, I don't know what it is.
Oh, no, I totally agree. I mean, it's so asinine that people would want to protest me picking up trash. You know, when we went to Baltimore, the Baltimore Sun, very similar to, for example, the Chicago Tribune. I could see them, potentially criticizing us for picking up trash. And it's like, whatever, I'm going to do the right thing because it's the right thing, whether people disagree with me or want to protest or not. So we're going to be out there on Saturday, November 23rd, and people can sign up at scottpresler.org.
How have you been received in other cities and perhaps even in Chicago in advance of your coming here by local politicians, other community groups? Have you had anybody say, we'd love to partner with you on this? We represent, we're this charity or this community group or this school or whatever?
Well, the best part has been, even though the city of Baltimore, the first time we went into town, denied us permits. Yes,
permits to pick up trash.
Dumpsters.
Yeah, right.
We were welcomed by the locals. I mean, everybody was coming out and they were saying, thank you, what can I do to help? We had people like 81-year-old, 4'10" Miss Louise, and it's quite a sight to see because I'm 6'5" tall, so I love standing next to her. But even she was out sweeping, and so it just shows you that, we don't need big government. Big government fails us. What we need is an active private citizenry that is willing to step up to the task and help make America a cleaner place.
Now,
we just need the people.
And now, do you come caravan in tow, or is it mostly generated? These cleanups are generated from volunteers at whichever location you're in.
This is 100% grassroots, 100% born on the internet, and I can tell you that we started recruiting maybe a month ago for this. And we've already had 254 people sign up, not only in Chicago and not only in Illinois, but we're going to have people driving in from Wisconsin and Iowa and states all across the area to show that this is an act of love. Like, people really, truly care. So
yeah,
people all from the internet.
You know why they're driving in from those places? Because they're Chicagoans who live in those places now. They left, and they're going to come back as sort of a show of a bygone loyalty to help, I would suspect.
Absolutely. This is about leading with love. So it's good to see these people step up and lead with love.
And so what's your plan? How much trash do you plan on picking up, and how do you go about renting a dumpster? I take it you have to go through all that, right?
You just fly dump, I assume, like we do here in Chicago. Like during hire truck, you just fly dump it.
Absolutely. So what we've done in Baltimore and Los Angeles is we had roll-offs come in. I've spoken to my team. I'm working with Brandon Harris of Freedom Movement USA, and I'm also working with the Log Cabin Republicans of Illinois. And these two teammates are helping to make sure that this goes off without a hitch. But we have dumpsters coming in. We're going to have porta potties. We know that it's going to be colder than all heck, so we're even going to have hot cocoa and coffee.
So you guys,
You got to be
prepared,
careful
but-
too.
well, so you guys, you guys raise money because you have to outlay money to pay for the dumpsters, to pay for the porta potties, to pay for the food and beverages and stuff. So you're also raising money to support the volunteers who are doing this cleanup. Then.
Well, I will say, and I'm very proud to say this, that I've never asked for a dime, even though we paid $1,500 out of my own pocket for dumpsters in the city of Baltimore. If people would like to contribute, they're more than welcome to at scottpresler.org, but I'm doing this because I care, and I'm very proud to say I've never asked for a dime for any of the work that I've done for the community. But our goal, to answer your question, I think it was Amy, our goal is to pick up more than 50 tons of trash. We want to, as we do these cleanups across the country, to build and do more than we did in Los Angeles.
Well, what was worse, Los Angeles or Baltimore?
Oh, Los Angeles. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, people are talking about Baltimore as being bad. I will say one thing. I spoke with Dr. Drew Pinsky, and Los Angeles has potential bubonic plague, leprosy, and typhoid fever. And those are three things that the city of Baltimore does not have. So, no, Los Angeles, I can confirm with my own eyes, where we had to wear hazmat suits was much worse than the city of Baltimore.
That's remarkable.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
And so after Chicago, what's next on your goodwill tour of picking up trash and avoiding communicable diseases?
I know my ma, she texted me right before the Los Angeles cleanup, and she said, Scott, I just want to remind you that leprosy is incurable. So I was like, okay.
It's a helpful reminder,
Thanks
yeah.
a lot, Ma.
Yeah, right.
But in LA, I mean, do they set up porta potties for people? I'm sorry, I'm digressing, but do they set up porta potties and people just refuse to use them?
It seems like there's a lack of hygienic facilities for people to shower, to use the restroom. Now, I will say, it seems like in recent months, I have seen some articles out there that more communities are putting up portable restroom facilities. So I do believe that there is a problem. It's not like all of the resources are there for these people. To give you an idea of what we saw in Los Angeles before I talk about where we're going up next, the area that we were in, we picked up 50 tons of trash, that's 50, not 15, in an area at a homeless camp where people were sleeping no fewer than 20 feet away from these 50 tons of trash. And literally human beings sleeping there in their tents. And no, there were no portable restrooms there, and there were no facilities right there. And the way that this works, and the reason why it wasn't cleaned up, is this is federally owned land that was leased to the city of Los Angeles. And so the city of LA says, oh, we don't have to clean it because it's federally owned land, even though it's being leased to the city of LA. So there's just so much bureaucracy and there's so much red tape. And to give you another example, remember how we were denied permits for dumpsters in Baltimore? Well, we had a park ranger that came out on the day that we were doing the cleanup in LA, and he was so impressed by the work we were doing, but he was honest to us, and we had this on film. He said to us, had I known you were doing this cleanup, I would have had to come here and shut you down. So there are so many layers of government that are actually preventing private citizens from stepping up. So sometimes you just got to do it on yourself.
I love it. I love it. And I love the citizen action, the platoon of democracy, or platoons, really, as you go from city to city, and the message that it's sending, and frankly, the nonsensical government and idiotic protesters you're exposing too. So, so the tour after Chicago, you go where?
We're looking at Detroit, Michigan, San Francisco, California, Queens, New York, Boston, Massachusetts, Miami, Florida. Basically, my goal is, some people say to me, Scott, why are you going to pick up other people's trash? What are you doing? And honestly, think about, your own life, yourself for a second. I think what people need is a hand up, not a hand out. And so what I hope to bring is a level of hope and optimism to, the darkest areas, the places that are disillusioned, that are disenfranchised, that are neglected. And I just want to bring hope. And when they see this long-haired millennial coming into town helping to pick up trash, hopefully it will help to inspire them and give them a sense of optimism they haven't felt before. So that's all I'm trying to achieve.
All right. They have some good barbershops in Inglewood, so you can get your hair cut while you're there if you'd like.
It's long hair. Don't
we
touch
are
that.
No longer friends after that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Scott Presler, he's a conservative activist, and he does these volunteer trash cleanups, organizes them around the country, as you were hearing him describe. He's in Chicago this Saturday, the 23rd, in the Inglewood area. Stay in touch online at Scott Presler, 1S, Scott Presler, and scottpresler.org is the website if you want to volunteer, if you want to provide a donation to support his work. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Can't wait to see everybody this Saturday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I might be there. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560.